And our Latin America correspondent Edith Tianchen joins me live now from Caracas. Edith, as we've been reporting, polls are about to close in Venezuela. Can you just explain to us, how has voting proceeded throughout the day? We've heard that voter turnout was low. Can you tell us more about what kept voters away?
Well, it was actually very interesting to observe the situation on the ground, because you would go to some of the neighborhoods where you would see long lines of people waiting to vote, and you would find out that particular neighborhood happens to be a place where there are lots of Maduro supporters. And then you go to another neighborhood where the voting centers are almost completely empty, and it turns out it's a largely opposition-held neighborhood. It quite vividly tells you how divided this society is. And yes, even though some people are still going to vote, and they will vote against Maduro, it seems the chances are very little for the opposition to win. As you know, Henry Falcon is the only realistic opponent in this competition, but most of the opposition doesn't really have faith in him, because they know that he used to be a former Chavez supporter. Some go as far as to argue that he's actually doing a favor to Maduro by running in the elections and by legitimizing the process. Now, if you look at the bulk of the opposition who are boycotting these elections, there are two main reasons. One is that they don't have faith in this process anymore. They say Maduro still has too much control over the Central Electoral Committee, and therefore he has the power to manipulate the results in any way, they say. And they also say that they feel left out of this process, because remember, many of the leaders of the opposition, they've been either jailed, exiled, or banned from participating.
Now, if Maduro is elected, as we say he probably will be as a result of these elections, what is he expected to do with the economic crisis that's gripping Venezuela? Inflation's at around 15,000%. The bare necessities aren't on the shelves in the country's stores. What could he possibly do to fix all this?
I mean, exactly. If there is one consensus in this country, it is the need for a better economy. No matter who you support, everybody believes that the economic situation needs to change. Now, when it comes to Maduro, he does hesitate to call it a humanitarian crisis, but even he is aware of the fact that people are struggling on the ground. There's pretty much a shortage of all basic necessities, including food, medicine, and he said one of his main campaign promises is to bring a better economy, a more prosperous economy, and he says he'll do that by restructuring, remodeling the entire economy of Venezuela. But the skeptics argue that so many of his economic policies are also being influenced by a very hardline leftist socialist ideology, that as long as he doesn't make any compromises on his ideology itself, they say it will be hard to see any kind of change, a tangible change on the ground.